All right, dear. So I feel like we should have Janet Jackson's Together Again playing in the background. Because the last time you and I spoke, we were in your home, your home base, I should
Yeah,
say,
my home base.
of San Francisco. And now
Yeah.
we're here in Philadelphia for
Yeah.
the amazing 17th annual Brave New Voices Festival. Talk to us about this legacy, 17 years in, and seeing 500 students come from all around the world and participate in this amazing display of artistry and camaraderie.
Well, it's I want to say that it's an American story because it is, but it's increasingly an international story. But it's rooted in a hope that can't be nationalized or or corporatized. The young people keep coming. It reminds me of another poem. I'm a little overwhelmed, I have to say, in this moment, just watching the young people with their hands in the dirt, literally transitioning word to a different kind of physical power. The level of accountability, not just artistic prowess, is really astounding, and it's a great antidote and anecdote for anyone who feels like young people have checked out in terms of their responsibility to collective empowerment. This is a resounding response, to that fallacy.
Right. And the last time we spoke, we were talking about your piece, RBG of Blues.
Yes.
And how it speaks to this phenomena, this idea of us understanding the earth that has basically sprung us up.
Yes.
and allowed us to flourish. And now you see all these young people making that connection in an area of Philadelphia that many people write off, that they don't understand has potential.
Yes.
And yet there is an urban farm here,
Yes.
and all of these young people are engaged with helping to maintain and expand the
Yes.
power of that. How does that wrap around into your work that you have shared with us here with the Philadelphia audience?
Well, I think that the work of any educator, certainly the work of our most storied and also underdocumented freedom fighters, is the work of cultivating something that you might never see. And, what I feel blessed about it, in this particular iteration, is that this is work that we've been cultivating for nearly 20 years, and we're not only beginning to see, but we annually through Brave New Voices see tangible results. But the level of activism here is what we've always preached. From an artistic perspective and from an educational perspective, we are descendants of a great Brazilian activist and educator named Paulo Freire, who talks about praxis, who talks about reflection and action in practice at the point of intersection, right? So the work that I make is that it's reflection in action. And what we've been teaching, both educationally and in terms of artistic practice, is this: that however powerful the poems might be on stage, they are hollow without connection to community, without this moment happening. So it's all connected. It's all part of a continuous circle of artistically framed accountability that manifests itself in beautiful events like this.
Yeah. Well, I know that we kind of grabbed you as you were getting here on the scene. So I don't want to keep you too long. I know you want to get out and mix and mingle.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to end with, this will not be the last time that we see you or see your work in Philadelphia, even in the near future.
No,
because there are other things coming up. So I know that you were a little bit limited in how you could speak about that when we saw you in California. Have we passed the threshold where you can give us more details?
I think we're almost past the thresholds. I wrote a libretto for the Philadelphia Opera Company. It's called We Shall Not Be Moved. And it actually comes out of the experience of gathering poetry of public high school students throughout Philadelphia, and being witness to both the promise and also the limitations within their educational cycle. And so the opera takes place in the ashes of the bombed out Move building, where 4 Philadelphia students decide that rather than learn in public schools, they would rather learn from the ghosts that live in the Move house. The composer of the opera is Daniel Bernard Romaine. It obviously touches on a dramatic and still maybe underreported story in Philadelphia's history, and links these ideas of education and continuous education to a classical form and evolves the classical form. So new classic, old story, moving forward.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's always good to see you, always good to have your energy in our space, and we look forward to continuing this relationship and following how all of this artistic energy manifests
You're
itself.
so good to me, man. Thank you. Thank you.